Something is shifting in Indianapolis. You can feel it in the air at rookie minicamp. This isn't just another offseason. It feels like the foundation is being rebuilt right before our eyes. For the real Colts faithful who bleed blue and white, we know names like Jonathan Taylor and DeForest Buckner are the pillars. But there's a deeper tension brewing within this roster. Before we dive into the names that could change our season, make sure you like this video and subscribe. If you're a real fan chasing that Super Bowl dream, you need to hear this right now. Believe. Now let's talk about what's actually happening behind the scenes, because the names you aren't hearing might be the most important ones for our 2026 campaign. We all know the headline stars, but there is a specific move that could redefine our defensive front, and it involves a name many are overlooking. Reports suggest that Colby Wooden is becoming a figure of intense interest within the building. When the Colts moved Zaire Franklin to the Packers, many fans felt the sting of losing a leader, but the arrival of Wooden is where the real narrative begins to shift. He isn't just a depth piece. He's coming off a career season in Green Bay with stats that suggest he's ready for a massive leap. We have Buckner and Grover Stewart as the undisputed anchors, but there is a growing sense that Wooden might be the rotational spark we've been missing. Imagine the pressure this puts on opposing offensive lines when our starters catch a breather and a hungry, productive tackle like Wooden steps in. It feels like the coaching staff, especially new defensive line coach Marion Hobby, sees something special here. This could be the kind of depth that turns a good defense into a championship caliber unit. But here's the thing that really keeps me up at night. If Wooden can replicate that production in our system, it changes how we handle the rotation entirely. It's not just about giving the starters a rest. It's about maintaining a level of violence and disruption for all 60 minutes. There is buzz around the facility that his versatility is exactly what this scheme needs to evolve. We are looking at a player who posted 16 starts and significant tackles for loss last year. That isn't just a backup. That's a starter in waiting. If he adapts quickly, the ripple effect on our pass rush could be monumental. It creates a scenario where we aren't just reliant on the big names to make plays. It suggests a depth chart that is deeper and more dangerous than anyone outside of Indy realizes. And honestly, this is exactly what a team needs when they are pushing for a divisional title. You need those hidden gems to shine when the lights are brightest. This move could be the catalyst for a defensive dominance we haven't seen in years. But the defensive line evolution doesn't stop with the interior. This is where things get even more intense as we look at the edge. There is a lot of focus on our young talent, especially guys like Latu and Tumolo, but there is a veteran presence that could be the ultimate X factor. Arden Key is a name that carries a lot of weight right now. Some are saying that his arrival signals a shift in how the Colts plan to attack the pocket. He's an 8-year veteran, a guy who has seen it all, and reports suggest he might be thriving in this new environment. Now this is where it gets interesting. While we want to see the young guys ascend, the reality of a win-now season means you need proven production. It feels like Luanaramo might be leaning toward giving Key more starter snaps than people initially projected. Think about the implications of that for a second. We've seen this story before in Indianapolis. Remember Samson Ebukam? He was a similar rotational player who came in and suddenly had a career-high sack total because he was in the right system at the right time. There is speculation that Key could be on that exact same trajectory. If he can provide that consistent pressure opposite Latu, it changes the entire geometry of the field for opposing quarterbacks. But there is also a risk here. If we rely too heavily on the veteran and it slows the development of the younger edge rushers, could that hurt us in the long run? It's a delicate balance of veteran reliability versus youthful explosion. The tension is real because we need to win today. Every snap Key takes is a statement about where this team thinks they are in their Super Bowl window. It feels like the coaching staff is prioritizing that immediate impact. If Key can channel that veteran savvy into a double-digit sack season, the Colts become a nightmare to prepare for. But the uncertainty remains. Can he handle the increased workload? Will the system truly unlock his full potential? It's these kinds of questions that make this season feel so high stakes. We aren't just looking for bodies, we are looking for game changers. Arden Key might just be the most underrated signing of the entire offseason, and if he hits, the AFC South is in serious trouble. And while the defense is building a wall, the offense is looking for a spark that could ignite the entire stadium. This is where the most exciting narrative of all starts to take shape. Deep in the 7th round of the draft, the Colts might have found a player who is already defying every expectation. Deion Burks is the name on everyone's lips right now. It's not just hype. There is a tangible feeling that he is already pushing for a significant role in this wide receiver room. Some are suggesting he is already the clear WR3 behind Alec Pierce and Josh Downs. Just think about what that means for a 7th-round rookie. His versatility is what makes this so dramatic. He's played as a kick returner, an outside threat, and a slot weapon. He has this incredible combination of speed and strength that feels tailor-made for what Shane Steichen wants to do. But this is where things change. We originally thought the veteran addition of someone like Joe and Jennings was the answer, but with him elsewhere, the door has swung wide open for Burks. And that's the biggest question facing this offense. Can a rookie really carry that much weight? If he can secure that returner role and provide a vertical threat, he becomes a Swiss Army knife that defenses can't account for. Because this could become something much bigger than just a depth piece. We are talking about a player who is already being viewed as a deadlier threat than some of the established veterans on the roster. It creates a massive amount of pressure on the existing room. If Burks is as good as the early buzz suggests, it could lead to some very difficult roster decisions. The emotional stakes are high because we've been waiting for that true third option to emerge. If he's the real deal, it unlocks everything for our quarterback. It gives the defense one more nightmare to worry about. But there is always that fear with a late-round pick: can they handle the jump to the NFL? The optimism is there, but so is the cautious reality of the league. However, if you watch his film and see his explosive playmaking ability, it's hard not to get excited. This feels like one of those draft steals we'll be talking about for the next decade. I'm gonna be honest with you all, this actually worries me and excites me at the same time. As a fan who has watched this team through the highs and lows, I really like these moves, but I think fans should pay attention to the underlying risk. We are putting a lot of faith in players who aren't household names to be the glue of a championship run. I love the upside of Colby Wooden, and I truly believe Arden Key has a career year in him. But what happens if the chemistry doesn't click right away? This move toward relying on high-ceiling depth is a gamble. It's a smart gamble, but a gamble nonetheless. I think about Deion Burks and I see a star in the making, but I also know how tough it is for a rookie to stay consistent through a 17-game grind. I really want to believe that Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen have found the missing pieces here. It feels like the identity of the team is shifting toward being more aggressive and more versatile. That's what we need to compete with the heavyweights of the AFC. But there is a part of me that is cautiously waiting to see it happen on the field. This could be incredible, giving us the deepest roster we've had in years, or it could become a problem if we don't have the star power to back it up when injuries inevitably strike. I'm leaning toward optimism because I see the logic in these additions. They aren't just signing names, they are signing fits. They are finding guys who have something to prove. That hunger is what wins games in December and January. I think the energy in Indianapolis right now is different than it has been in a long time. There is a focus on the details and a belief that every spot on the roster matters. If these three players even give us 70% of their projected potential, we are a significantly better team than we were last year. It's about the collective strength of the unit. I'm watching these training camp reports like a hawk, because the future of this franchise might just depend on these overlooked contributors stepping into the light. The road to the top of the AFC South is never easy, and the Indianapolis Colts are clearly taking a path that requires everyone to step up. The stories of Colby Wooden, Arden Key, and Deion Burks are just beginning, but the implications for our season are already massive. Something bigger is still coming, you can feel it. The roster isn't just a list of names. It's a puzzle that is slowly coming together, piece by piece. Whether these players become the heroes of our 2026 season, or lessons in the difficulty of team building remains to be seen, but the uncertainty is what makes this journey so captivating. The future is uncertain, and there is a lot of work left to do before that first kickoff. But for those of us who live and breathe Colts football, the anticipation is what keeps us going. We want to see that blue and white back in the postseason, and these three names might just be the reason we get there. I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these three do you think will have the biggest impact this year? Are you as high on Deion Burks as I am? Or are you looking at the defensive line to be the difference maker? Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected to everything happening with our team. The story is not over, and the best is yet to come. Go Colts! Stay focused, fans.